Three. All right, guys, back again. Displacement podcast. We're doing well. At first, we did the Nissan Leaf review. So
Right.
due to my, how could I put it? I don't want to talk to myself too bad, but due to my amateur video editing skills, we had some technical difficulties with the audio. So today we're going to just recap that whole experience, which was an interesting one for us. Killa and myself, we got a chance to actually test drive Osric's Nissan Leaf, zero emission, tugged out.
Wow.
Tech edition.
EV. So as we allow you to just go into some details about that. You don't know me ask questions along the way because that's not what I do, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So let's get straight into it. People have been asking questions.
Yeah.
So we just want to give them some answers. So essentially, for that year or those models for the Nissan Leaf, they essentially came with two size batteries. They're 24 kilowatt hour or 30 kilowatt hour, thereabout. From, let's say, and I think I mentioned this on a previous podcast, from 0 to 100% is about 8 hours on 220 and about 10-12 hours on 110.
Okay.
Closer to 20 hours on 110. Just double the time, right? The vehicle is pretty small, compact. The port in front has two charging ports that we spoke about before. There's the regular one that you plug into the wall, into your house, and there's a fast charging port, which I'm not sure if we have actual fast chargers here. We have charging stations, and then I saw a new one this week. So a new charging station is now available in Antigua and Barbuda.
And also, just to interject, I saw the environmental wellness group. They're putting on some seminars as it pertains to charging, how to set up successfully install charging stations in your homes, and just to get people more aware of get people more aware of how to set up this charging station and allow them to be a part of the electric car community, the electric vehicles community as well.
Yeah,
so just add to that as well.
And even with the charging stations, there are many options depending on your vehicle, your setup with regards to maybe you may have a specific breaker in your house and you think yourself, you don't want to go and buy new breakers because you already have these breakers in, although breakers aren't expensive. You can buy a charger that will comply to your particular electrical situation. So you may get one with a 50 amp breaker or 40, depending, and that will give you a specific charge speed. One of the things I'd like to note is over time, as do regular batteries, life deteriorates. But the thing is with modern EVs is that they're a lot more reliable and degradation is a lot less.
That's true.
Right? So even in that particular model vehicle, it had what it called a long life mode that you could turn on and would help to preserve the life of the battery. So whereas mine 2014, 2015 vehicle lost 3 bars, so I'm not getting the full maximum capacity of the battery, but even then
3 bars out of how much?
Don't quote me on this. I think it's somewhere between 8 and 10 bars.
Nah, you're good, man. You have about the next 5 years for that, man. Whatever, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get more than that now since I'm charging at home and I don't have the full charger.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm getting, let's say, 120 plus kilometers per charge.
Yeah.
Which is almost non-existent if you're getting anything newer. You're gonna get way more mileage than that.
So let me ask you this now. Cost of charge in Antigua as it pertains to your Nissan Leaf. Because right now we're gonna do a comparison between that and just say there's some modern small sedan, a sedan we call them, right?
Hatchback.
Small car, hatchback, right?
Yeah.
So we do the comparison to a Vitz because they're pretty much in the same category. So as it pertains to cost per charge in Antigua, how much is it really?
Okay, so going off the last APA bill, I did check. I
Yeah.
haven't checked the change to see if they increase electricity sneakily. But
Careful. Hey, I talk about the in the past. Necessary for life. What are you saying, bro?
that's it. It's 90 cents essentially per kilowatt hour.
Yo,
in Antigua, right?
listen, say less. I hope that Toyota Hilux bring out that electric truck before 2030. I can't wait so long, boss.
I think they schedule
definitely
to bring them out
gas vehicle, boss.
2025 thereabout.
No, I think they said 2030. That's what they were looking
2030?
at. Yeah, I can't wait so long. So
might be before, you know.
And if I might have to hurry up 10 millionaires and buy some stocks in the Toyota so they can hurry up make that equipment.
It might be before. The market might force their hand. But
continue, sorry.
Yeah, it's so 24 kilowatt hours, so 24 times 0.9 is essentially $21.60, right? To get a full charge.
So roughly, I can spend $21.60 to charge my car.
Yeah.
Weekly.
No, that's
no.
per
Let me
charge.
say weekly. I mean per charge because I'm assuming that equated to because I throw pretty much $100 in my car every week driving a Vitz.
Okay. So
if I do the comparison.
So let's do the comparison to the Vitz.
Okay, go ahead.
So
let's continue. Let's continue with the Leaf. And so it's Nissan Leaf 24 times 90 cents, which will give us $21.60.
60 cents, right.
Right. And the range about 190 kilometers.
Exactly. And when you divide that out, you're getting 11 cents per kilometer, or about 18 cents per mile. Right?
What?
Yes.
About
18 cents per mile.
That sounds like nothing when you look at it.
Which I mean, yes, I like to say you have to put it in the context. You know, context is important.
Because your context can still make us all like nothing to, but continue. Put in the context.
Context is important. So let's look at now a regular petrol.
Yeah.
At the time when I did my calculations, it was $15.70
correct
per gallon.
Correct.
People in Antigua, when you watch this, I don't know if that's still what it is.
Yeah.
I can only pray for you it goes down. But at the time, it was.
Hold on. Killa. You can let us switch your shape and all like that.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, the boss said, I hope and pray for you all that. That's
everybody.
So like them. You know, the people that start
also has a diesel pickup.
Yeah.
You know the people in there that start eat vegan, start your shit for people that still eat.
Yeah, man.
That's an army.
So you know, but
that's an army.
I take it.
That's an army because the diesel kill me right now. But
anyways,
dead.
But the 2005 Vitz had roughly a 11.9, 11.89 gallon tank.
Right.
Which means to fill that tank, if it was bone dry,
right, at $15.70, it go roughly about how much?
$186.67.
Damn.
Right, but you're gonna get to drive about 308 miles.
How much cost per mile?
60 cents.
That's okay. So hold on. So
let's be clear. No.
So hold on. Let's not do that. Since you want to,
I'll
do a quick math. So 18 cents per mile.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So that means we can spend $26.60 for 190 miles.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then.
You're trying to get a difference?
Hold on, man. 190 times 2 are roughly how much? 998, 18, 9 plus 9 or 18, right?
80.
Yeah.
Right. So 190 roughly 380 kilometers, right?
Yeah. 17 kilometers to the miles.
Okay, then.
So long story short, it's 3 1/3 times more expensive. 3.33. Recurrent threes.
You mean to buy an electric vehicle tomorrow, right? Yo, matter of fact, I can't afford an electric vehicle yet. They have electric bike, right? Let me start off with that.
They do have electric bikes, you know, and they are fairly efficient. They are fairly efficient.
I don't know why are we so retarded till they buy gas vehicle for bus.
But let's go to the argument that some people have that they don't have an electric vehicle because it's not green. It still polluting.
Okay, so they can pay it on green then.
You're still polluting the environment. But
Not
for
much,
me,
though.
the icing in the cake is, for me,
You're polluting
is
it
that
less though.
I invested in solar panels, right?
Mhm.
It was one of the investments I made sometime after we built our home, which isn't that expensive. So you offset the cost for charging, and you also offset the cost in your home. So for argument's sake, you could easily drive for free all year round on solar panels, right?
And that's
Easily.
the thing. But that's the thing, though, because a lot of people don't. You see, the reason why people talk like that, right? And you can jump in here anytime, right, Killa? Is the fact that I think it's not it's poor planning, right? So if you plan and think about and do the maths, then you can say, all right, let me invest the $40,000 now, put in the solar panels with the batteries, right?
28.
Buy this, right? Run this EV, even better. Run this EV, and it depends on the size of your home and what you're pushing, right? So run this EV, buy this EV. Do all that upfront cost now and drive for the next 10 years, literally free.
Yeah.
Or you can play ignorant, don't get the solar panel, give APUA how much exorbitant amount of money because you're burning the current. So, because I can't blame APUA for charging how much they charge. That's their fee and that's their rate. But you're the one that burn all the current, right? Also, you still buy gas at almost triple the cost. Not even triple, because we said 19 cents compared to $15 and change. So you can do the math right there. How much time more the money you spend? Add up all of that with over the 10 years. Bro, you can buy 3-4 houses with that money now.
Probably.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So
And
I
one
still
of the
don't
things,
understand, is it the fact that it's more just explaining it to some people is kind of complicated, or they think it's complicated, that's why they just decide, you know what, it's much easier to just buy gas vehicle. Go ahead, Killa. Sorry.
I think it's a situation where so many people are risk averse.
Yeah.
They don't like venturing into new territory. People are generally resistant to change.
That's true.
And you know, you're dealing with a dynamic where I don't even know the ratio would be, like 99% to 1. Like here it's something totally new. Oz is more of a technical guy. So this is something that Oz would just think up and say, yo, boss, but if I do this, and then I do that, and then I do that, and connect these dots. Yo, this it can work, no. Right? You're the type of person who willing to actually not even roll the dice because, you know, scientifically it can work. Right?
That's true. It's there, the data is there to show.
Yeah, right? It's just him actually being smart about it and say, yo, this is the route me to go.
Yeah.
You know, most people now go in our world, they have access to 15 grand, I can buy a Vitz that I can get me from point A to P. And most people who buying them kind of cars, starter cars, first time buyers and so, they're not even thinking about how they can put gas in it. I remember having like my first car. We bought a car by the name of Tracting. I remember me just so happy for me auntie called me for pick up for work. Because I'm not sure right and check and put gas in the car. You get to me come from. Like,
so you don't even have to worry about gas tomorrow. It's like, hey, auntie, make you call me tomorrow, no? Because
yeah, you just want wheels. You check where you're coming from.
So
nobody
that's why
ever broke it down and did the math.
So that's why we're here at this podcast doing things like this. And also that's why I'm kind of glad that as you know, choose to stand up on the soapbox and advocate for and actually rope us in, and we did the review and all of that. Because think about it. I'm not telling people not to buy gas vehicles, right? But for the youths and them that they come out to college or just to start them life, high school, whatever the case may be, they're getting their first vehicle, barely $100 in their pocket. I would suggest for them, hey, if you have this amount of money, go and get an electric vehicle.
Think about it.
You can it's be more responsible, save more money, get yourself up to the speed that you need to get yourself up to, and then you can venture into, when you get old enough and your bank account a little bit big enough, then you can decide, okay, let me venture into a gas vehicle. But one, you're saving the environment that it is yours to inherit. So why not start at 18 and preserve it now? So when you get older, you don't have to oh, the world is done. I mean, even give enjoy. You understand? Preserve it.
The
No.
generations after you too. Yeah.
Also, you save a lot of money because if I had to do it again, me tell you straight up, me to buy an EV vehicle. But then again, me so old. I also old. EV vehicle. EV vehicle, me just start in time. So and I'm luxury like them people, right? But no, I would do that. No, they're coming in so much different models.
Yeah.
How they look. Matter of fact, I can't even go right into the conversation. You had a chance that you had the opportunity to test drive $130,000 Porsche.
Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo.
Come on, bro.
Around, guys.
Come on, bro.
Yo, I will tell you, man. Like before that, like even just speaking with Mello,
yeah,
us just having our off the handle talks similar to what we do right now.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the first time we spoke about it, we probably spoke for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really, Oz? And I show you guys the video of my car running, right?
Yeah.
But my appreciation for EVs have grown so much from Oz's wit about it, his smarts, how he approached it, how he break it down. Correct. Like he put it in a way that's understandable for nearly anyone, right?
And that's why we're here as well too.
Yeah, actually driving the Leaf, having that opportunity not too long ago, and then getting to drive my cousin's Porsche, man, like it's crazy. I'm getting a ride in that too, because like I was really too scared to even roll into it. Like I've driven fast cars, but I don't think I've ever driven anything that expensive, right?
But let me say this. You know, our boy live a rockstar life.
I know, right?
So the boss go World Cup.
Yeah, boy.
Boss go Rihanna. Boss go MSG.
Yeah, boy.
Now the boss drive the big Porsches.
Rihanna's different.
Don't forget us when you blow up, right? Don't forget your true friends when you blow up, bro. All jokes.
No, man.
Continue.
Hey, one person win, everybody win. I'm real far from the goal, you know. But guys, I'm telling you, man, like, and my cousin was really so cool about it because, like, he was like 45 minutes away from where I was staying at the time.
Yeah.
And he literally like, yo, Dad's here, right? I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, yo, I'm gonna come and check you. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, we were gonna check him, but he checked us, cool.
Yeah.
And literally, like, come in, hail up everybody. He's like, yo, Killa, come boss. Right? Like, yo, I have to get content for the pod. So, like, yo, just come.
Yeah.
And like from start to finish, he was super cool about showing me everything.
Yeah, he walked you through the whole car, yo.
Yo, I was so amplified. Like, I didn't even get to film the pulls that we did. Right, because that's one of the few EVs he was explaining to me too that actually shifts. Yeah, like it had a second gear too, right? And he's telling me straight up, like he's telling me, yo, cuz this is like the regular version. I'm gonna get like the other version, which is crazier than this, right? And I'm like, what?
No, dude, you know when you sent that video, right? So when you sent everything I was editing, I was like, let me do some research, bro. When I went on the site, right, I'm gonna see like they keep getting higher and higher and higher. I was like, no, man, this is crazy, yo.
And he totally like you legit customize everything from the color of your seat belts to the color of your grill.
That's crazy. That's wild.
The color of your diffuser to the color of your brake calipers, color of your wheels. You know how you want your interior.
Yeah.
If you want all the bells and whistles, how many charging ports you want, how many you like. Every single detail you can think of, guys. It is wild.
But I mean, that's the kind of service they get when you're building a Porsche.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He even explained to me how it is. Like the Porsche thing is like a family. Like,
yeah.
I remember researching like these Patek watches, Philippe Patek watches. These guys been like you can't just go and own a Patek, or after you own a certain amount of Pateks and you spend a certain amount of money, then you get access to different stuff. That's how the Porsche thing is set up too. So right now he wants
like a club.
He wants like I think a 911 GT3. But I don't think something like that. And I don't think
any allocations are left. I don't think there are any allocations left.
I don't think he can get it. He has like different hookups because he wasn't even supposed to get this one. But you have the second one coming, but he has to spend a certain amount before he can get access to like the 911 GT3. So just like how you
Those are
research the
EVs,
price,
right?
Mellow?
We're talking, right?
No.
No, this one is
actual
like an
shell?
all-out kind of race bred kind of serious machine.
That's
So,
wild, yeah.
but it's fast. It's like super fast
yeah.
and it's super sought after.
Yeah.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 100 and something thousand or 500,000 you have to spend in Porsches over time to have access to that particular thing.
Right. Porsche, there's
You
actually
know?
like a formula that people have discussed online as to how you get allocation for the GT3 and the GT3 RS Porsches as they come out. X amount of vehicles over X amount over years. I remember one guy saying, "Oh, you have to buy at least one SUV, two sedans, and something
something like that, like a formula." To be honest, guys, I don't want to release the piece early, but since we're on the topic too, I was just talking to him today, right? And he was explaining to me that like you can sign up for a Porsche on wheel kind of thing. So like they can literally deliver your Porsche a particular way.
Oh yeah,
that like, I know. These different things where it's covered and they have you come, they invite you in, you have your lunch, you have your this, you have your that. And you know, it's a whole like Porsche experience. You have one person that you can invite.
Yeah.
You go to dinner, you go to do or lunch or whatever, and you do a whole like day of activities, and then you get to take the car like either on a track after or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was telling him, yo, cause if you do that, right, for this one, it will be some crazy content for the pod. Yeah. Right? And he's like, yo, I'm gonna research, then get back to you. Right? So like it's just legit an opportunity to even do it and just show up with the GoPro.
That would be awesome.
that would be dope.
That would be crazy, like for real. And but I didn't even expect him to, you know, be open to it. Like I thought, if there's one person, you know, probably bring your wife or you know, like yo, cause
no, seriously,
you know,
let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Soup.
How much wives are going to go up on a car? But it's like, yo, it's another car. As far as they're concerned, it's another car. But let me say this, right? I think I knew you guys were well, like versed in the whole car culture and all of that, right? From like the hands-on standpoint, I didn't realize how much engulfed you guys are in the actual, not only just from the actual touching the cars, but actual online community and the videos and all that. And more I do this podcast with you guys, I'm realizing, they crazy when it comes to car, boy. That's wild. That's wild. So kudos to you guys, and it gives more credence to know that, you know, we're not just having a conversation around a bunch of ignorant people just feeling it's a talk things because they know things.
It's speculation reasons, you know, it's facts.
Yeah. Well, from the 2 year guys standpoint, I can be ignorant as hell. The goal is by the end of this year, by the end of our 1 year anniversary, we're supposed to can be like, oh yeah, and then the crankshaft and then the spark plug and then but I think I want to stay just a tad bit ignorant so I can ask the, you know, the very important questions to help educate those who are you know, not much versed as it pertains.
Those are who are mash and go. That's the term we've been using. Mash and go.
Right. So just to wrap up as it pertains to the you know, the Nissan Leaf. I mean, I know we went off track, like I got a little bit excited about the Porsche, but I mean it's a Porsche, but come on.
I mean, why not?
I mean, no disrespect to Nissan. I mean, if I could afford it.
I mean, this is no disrespect. I mean, we're talking about pearls and you know, stones.
And what you call those rocks?
And seashells.
She said those gemstones that, you know, that the people use to wear off energy and all that. But
but
so what's your final thoughts as it pertains to, you know, the EV
I mean
the Leaf, actually the Nissan Leaf, that in terms of the review that we did on, you know, the Nissan Leaf?
I mean, you guys pretty much said it all during the review. It's an acquired taste at first, you know, getting accustomed to not hearing anything. I guess even Killa would realize that as well. He did the Porsche, that, you know, the sound difference you get driving an EV versus a combustion engine is something that the mind has to get accustomed to, right? So outside of that novel effect, it all boils down to dollars and cents for the individual. And for me, in living on a small island, 108 square miles,
it only makes sense to own an EV.
It only makes sense. And as long as you can get something that has enough range to work with a day's worth of driving, is going to be worth it. Once you can get a day's worth of driving out of an EV, it will be worth it. Because that's the big issue in all other countries, is that they can't get a full day's worth of driving, commuting between work and home and all these other things. That makes it difficult to purchase an EV, and why you have to have so many charging stations and so forth. But at 108 square miles, 20-something miles across.
Perfect, yo.
I mean, once you can get a day's
once you
worth,
can make it home, you charge it again.
Because think about this. Just the other day we were in the office and them guys were talking about, like we were talking about living in the capital and having to travel English Harbor, you know? So we were talking about this this entertainment spot in English Harbor that people tend to go and all that. And them guys like, yo, Mello, before me left from my yard, me have to calculate how much money me can spend just to go out there now. And I look at them, I was like, guys, we live in 108 square miles. There's no way in Antigua that I am not going or considering to not go if I have half a tank of gas. That means I can go anywhere in Antigua from a yard and reach home.
Easy.
Whatever, I think we can drive the whole of Antigua with a half a tank of gas.
Probably.
Easy.
So, saying all that to say, for you to speak about EVs now, and we're talking about EVs in 108 square miles, bro, it just make a logical sense to just, if you're trying to live economically and, try to use your money to go into different things, just makes sense. Because not only it makes sense from just the petrol standpoint, but it makes sense from the engine standpoint, it makes sense from the maintenance standpoint, it makes sense from, it just makes sense, bro. And again, as I said, if I could do it all over again, my vehicle would be pretty much electric car. And for somebody that's now in an industry where it requires me to do a lot of driving, like I'm gonna be honest,
it would be
right now I'm
better
driving,
for you.
I'm driving a Toyota Run X, and within a week, we done throw in $100 within a week, bro. Just for the amount of driving that I've been doing.
Easily.
Imagine my EV vehicle, bro.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, the more people get into it, is the more incentives then you can have for like workplaces, just to put an outlet or a station up in a parking lot. And even if you had to pay for that, for argument's sake, it'd still be cheaper than buying gas.
You know another angle, guys. Sorry to jump in like that.
No, it's cool.
Just while Mello was while he was talking, it kind of came to me.
Yeah.
You realize while having a gasoline vehicle, you gotta pay for everything upfront, gas-wise. And for the whole month while you have that EV, you pay for that at the end. So you get automatic credit, like you're driving basically for free, and you just pay your bill at the end of the month. It's like have an account with a gas station.
Because where in the world can you go and be like, yo, charge my gas at the month and we pay? Because gas is so premium, right?
So that's another convenience. The deferred payment. Like
you don't pay for it until the end of the month.
And if a delinquent like me, that pay every other month.
Every other month,
Right. You got 2 months we don't pay for. You just plug it in the drive. And listen, even if we don't want to pay, we can just run my car over by pan and say, just give me the electricity.
Just run the drop cards.
And even worse, we can just walk with one of them, them battery pack that can hold and good and bond the power charge. Go and plug that in somewhere.
They actually have those in the UK and in Europe. They have like AAA services for EV vehicles where there's a generator in the back of a van that if an EV runs out of the vehicle, runs out to the charge, they can just come, plug it in, do a quick charge.
It's like roadside assistance.
Yeah, like roadside assistance.
That's sick.
I mean, you can buy a pack.
I need more people who have EV vehicles than take it out. It's wild. But
it's happening though.
I don't want to switch gears too quickly either, but there's a quick question I want to run over to us since we're on the EV topic. Yeah. Did the state of California not approve some bills saying they gotta go full EV by 2025 or something like that?
Yes. California has, my mind serves me correctly, they have passed something that is making it very difficult for everyone driving a petrol vehicle very shortly. From
my understanding.
California is like a different country from the United States.
Yeah, they are carb legal. You can't have certain this. You got to have these guidelines. Yeah, I know Cali has been at the forefront.
EV is big over there.
I think in Sweden as well too. One of those European countries as well too. They're going by 2030
Well, a lot of the
like
EU,
80
the EU
80%
countries have made
electric
mandates to go fully electric. Hence the reason, like Audi, the Volkswagen Group, going to have full EV lines by starting from 2025, 2030. They're just looking to have an EV variant to every petrol variant they have. And then, for example, Aston Martin by 2030 won't have any petrol vehicles, I think.
which is kind of good for them because it make
Guys,
all their petrol.
It's difficult for them though. It's actually more difficult for them than it is for us.
Not necessarily because if
Because they get a
have
lot
those-
of their power from nuclear and fossil fuels.
yeah.
And
No, but
so
think
they
about the resale value on these cars though. So well, not for them, but for man like me, if I have an Aston Martin sitting down and I'm here for the game, like
prices are gonna go through the roof for a lot
What?
of those vehicles. Yeah.
come on,
guys,
man.
my mind ticking like crazy right now. Eh? I just realized, and I'm not gonna get too
Keep it
involved
coming,
in the
keep it coming,
specifics,
keep it
but I
coming.
have to mention this.
Yeah.
So, ministers of government,
Oh dear.
do they not get free? They don't pay utilities, do they?
So you would
Is
one
that
would
not a
think
perk?
so
Is
one
that
would
not a
think
perk?
so one would
It
think they would
is
be
some
more
sort of perk. They do have
incentivized-
something to that effect.
So you think one would be more incentivized to get an electric vehicle, right?
Yes, but we have one
not enough
particular
there for flossing right
minister
now.
who has a Tesla. And it makes sense. So he moves for, well, you don't really drive it.
But he
He or
moved
she,
for
let
free.
me not point any. So
But he actually
essentially, if
moved
he
for
does,
free.
he would be moving for free, literally. He has no transportation
With
bill other than
luxury.
maintenance of tires.
With luxury.
So
And
that's
listen,
the incentive there for all government folks all who fall into that category or criteria to
he
go
don't
EV.
have he don't have the low model. He or she don't have the low model Tesla. Eh? They have the
It's probably high and maybe why it's not so.
butterfly
But I'll
doors.
tell you this much, guys, everywhere, like you cannot leave your house in the States without seeing Teslas, not a Tesla, Teslas.
Teslas.
It's nearly as popular, it's nearly as simple as going out the house in Antigua and seeing a Toyota.
Vitz.
Going to the mall, yeah, maybe not a Vitz, maybe like a
Just a Toyota.
Astio or a sedan, just a Toyota sedan.
They're that popular.
Maybe like an ordinary Corolla. It is that popular.
But you see the production
so
problem
they're
that they're
getting
having.
there.
The production problem they're having is hampering, man.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think well, one of our goal is to be, actually a hub for electronic vehicles. Do you think with proper financing we can open a EV car dealership here in Antigua? Fellas, talk to me.
Well, I actually
what
have
are
an
we looking
insight
at?
on that.
What are
I
we
actually
looking
have an insight on that. So pause for a cause. Pause for a cause. I made a call this week.
Yeah.
Right? Called a particular car dealership.
Yeah.
And I was inquiring about something in particular, and they told me to speak to this particular representative.
Yeah.
And in speaking to the representative, I was asking, if it is I wanted this particular EV, which falls under your brand, could I order it? And they're like, yeah, you can. I was like, okay.
Sweet.
It's like, here's the caveat. There's like, we've been in talks with the government for a long time now. We're just waiting on what the outline so we can start to sell the EVs in Antigua.
Whoa, that's wild. So it comes back down to we need to as not to go too much into detail. So we need to hurry up, do what we're doing in order to get things.
Boy.
All right, cool.
Because essentially all they're saying is that the reason they can't sell them, or even if they don't bring any to sell, the reason they can't bring in any for somebody to order through them,
the regulations,
because they don't have no guidelines to the government as to how much is the ABST, how much is the RRC, how much is offer on. They have no guidelines, and their
so
dealers
that goes to show how far
overseas
behind we
won't
are.
allow them to sell the vehicle without that information, because then I guess they can't do proper pricing and so on to sell.
Yeah, and projections.
This is how much I'm selling you for.
To make sure.
This is what you will make, and etc. etc. That's all that's stopping them. They said they've had numerous meetings and they're just waiting on the government. Because they went as far as to say, as depending that particular brand will dictate how many charging ports they would have to place in front of the dealership and all that.
Which means they would then decide if they're a hub or not.
Yeah, for that brand, for their particular brand.
and if you revisit our initial idea, Killa, where we come off here, ladies and gentlemen, the feel away, but sometimes we have these business talk. These things happen while we're doing
offline.
Correct. So we need to have that discussion. So any final words on the EV, bro? Thoughts?
Final word is look into it seriously. Don't let people persuade you without doing your own homework, your own research on any particular EV, because just like a regular vehicle, each one may has its pros and cons for you, particularly as an individual getting that vehicle, and do your research, and it can be a worthwhile investment, a very serious worthwhile investment. Look into solar panels. You don't have to, do the full outlay and spend 20,000. You can do a small set. You can go as far as getting a certified electrician, because we do have them around. There are a number of certified electricians to do solar panels, and you can get, for argument's sake, a panel setup that will suit your EV. So
and I know a few. So
yeah. So it's doable, it's within reach, it's not a break the bank situation. Look into it, people. It could really make a difference in your financial situation.
Nice. Killa, final words?
Yep. Man, I just want to tip my hat to us for doing all the research as usual in this. For really inspiring the EV movement for the podcast and for others, and for us to have this platform to really speak to people, inform people, educate people, get them up to speed. And Omelo has stopped me and us on multiple occasions, say, hey, a couple of people hit me up about this, as we probably need to get more in details with this, because this is sparking an interest, Yeah. So yeah, big up for the inspiration differently. And yeah, let's just continue to do the right thing.
Yeah. And also we need to get that idea off the ground, so we can, because we've been talking about this for like almost 3 years, right, Oz?
Yeah.
About 3 years.
Just about.
I think, through the podcast and through how things are going and the movement of the world as well, it's only right that, with no Killa on board, we try to get this thing, and again, he's been, in contact with the likes of Rihanna and and these kind of people. So, we have the right connections and the network that he can, help us push the agenda forward. But I could say this, my final thing would be, fact. My final thing would be, this coworker of mine, she had this vehicle, and vehicle don't do the time, so she had to let go of her baby, and she wasn't sure what's the next approach should be. So I was like, maybe you don't know what the next approach would be. She's like thinking about getting a new car, but she don't want to end up back in the same situation, with the servicing, and I always have to do that, blah, blah. So I was like, maybe we should look into an EV vehicle. She's like, yeah, but that's too much, and wait. And I was like, you know what? We just did a small review on an EV vehicle. Just take a look and tell me what you think. Do it. I kid you not. After she watched the episode, she came out the next day. She was in front of a computer, and she had Prius, Nissan. Think about all the base model. What you call it?
Hybrids.
Right. She even had Tesla up. I was like, whoa. You're going too far. I'm not saying you can't afford a Tesla, because she can't afford a Tesla. But I know most females are not going to have the patience to wait on a Tesla. So I was like, what's your palette with an nice Nissan Leaf? And then, so she's so much convinced that no, it's not about the EV vehicle aspect. It's about the model, the make, and the look that suits her. And that's what we need to start. And that's what I like about what we did. And that's what we need to start encouraging more. It's no more like, because no, she's actually, and I found it fascinating that no, she's not shopping for, normally people do that as it pertains to petrol car. No, she's saying, nah, EV is the base. No, it's.
But which one?
What make, what model, what car that suits her liking. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to do, continue to inspire. As again, I'll give you all the credit, as Killa just said, thanks for inspiring us, especially with the information going in depth, being so pedantic, and looking at the mind, just like the smallest detail to the biggest detail and the largest scale, to help us to pretty much grasp and understand, how important it is, not only for the environment, but how cost effective it's us, but as young entrepreneurs as well, to actually take some of our money and channel it elsewhere. You understand? That can have a great impact, not only on our lives, but the future of our family and our friends and so on. So again, kudos to you, my brother. So like I will try for, make you run for prime minister, but that's not that. It's just, all our brothers and we're glad to share the information. And this is why this podcast is important as well. We share the information with the masses and, get them. Hopefully it inspires more people to join the movement.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Fluid.
Displacement podcast. So on that note, we're going to end this podcast like kaboom. This is Displacement podcast. Your boy Melody Dan. Killa, Az.
Killa Panther. Like, comment, subscribe. Toss over to us.
All that good stuff, yeah. And also, let's be clear, follow us on our social media platform. We're on TikTok right now. Listen, I never wanted to do TikTok, to be honest.
But TikTok and hit
fastest. I'm saying, bro. Everything we have
platform, no?
Everything we have on there is over 100 views, bro.
Sure.
That's wild. Almost every single video, bro. That's wild. So follow us on TikTok, Displacement Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Displacement Podcast. YouTube, Displacement Podcast. Facebook, Displacement Podcast.
And subscribe, people. Subscribe. You need to
because
subscribe.
we keep bringing good content.
Yeah.
Also, just to be clear, we have a review video dropping soon on 2018.
18 Hilux?
Right. So in 2018 Hilux, sky blue or water blue? What kind of blue?
I have no idea the official name. It's blue.
Blue.
It's a nice blue though.
It's a candy blue, somewhat like that. So yeah, we have that dropping pretty soon. So stay tuned to the page. Again, as Khalid and Killa and I said, like, subscribe, share with all your friends and families. And again, if you have any questions, any concern, anything that you want to
comment,
see us do, just DM us and we in the building. So again, thanks guys. You already know. We're out.
Yep.